support be reduced to 0
Yes.
in the court order. But you do plan to take care of your son.
Yes, definitely. That's the plan. I mean, yeah.
Okay, very good. Counsel, anything else?
Your Honor, in just a closing,
Proceed.
regarding the court cost, I would ask that Mr. Hernandez Nunez be ordered to pay them, but to give him 1 year from today's date to Travis County Clerk.
Welcome back to Family Court Drama. On today's episode, we have a child support hearing. Both parents are asking the court to modify the child support order to 0. The mother wants the father to continue to pay her the money directly without the family court being involved. But let's see if the judge agrees with the parents and thinks this is in the best interest of the child.
Help you God.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
And yes, thank you. You can lower your hand. And Ms. Kakari, are you planning to present some evidence by way of...
Just brief evidence, Your Honor.
Okay, proceed. Both parties have been sworn.
The state calls Ms. Alejandra Zapata Velos. Can you state your full name to the court, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Alejandra Zapata Velos.
And can you tell the court your child's name and age?
Yes, it is Christopher Alan Hernandez Zapata, and his date of birth is...
Now, in my opening, I announced to the court what you and the father have agreed to. Were you able to hear that?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you explain to the court why you're asking the court to consider agreeing with your request to set child support at 0?
Yes, ma'am. So like I mentioned to you, I'll mention to the judge as well, that ever since we have had this child support in place, which is from 2019, he has been in good standings. I haven't had any issues. Although I know we at some point stopped going through receiving payment through you guys, he has always maintained his part of the bargain, which is financial responsibility. And like I mentioned to her as well, that he most of the time even pays in advance. Like, for example, right now, this year, he actually paid in January up until June. So I wouldn't be receiving anything because he already made that large sum. And this is something that he does regularly. And
when does your child turn 18?
Next year, February.
And how long has Mr. Hernandez been providing the medical insurance?
Ever since 2019.
Okay, so shortly after the order, he's started providing the medical?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you describe to the court how long Mr. Hernandez Nunez has been paying 100% of your child's medical bills?
Since 2018.
And can you describe to the court what sort of medical bills your 17-year-old has had in the past few years?
So yeah, so like he wears glasses and he also uses contacts. So he does anything that has to do with that. He pays for the doctor's visit out of pocket, and obviously for his glasses and for his contacts. And I mean, were he ever to get hurt, he actually is the one that takes him to the doctor, or will meet up there to the doctor, and he pays upfront for anything. So we actually never get billed because service is paid upfront by Mr. Hernandez.
Okay, so that's an additional responsibility that Mr. Hernandez Nunez has outside of your 2019 order?
Yes, ma'am.
And you are in agreement with the full release of child support and medical support?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand if the court confirms this, that there's no arrears and you can't get that money back?
Yes, ma'am.
Pass this witness.
Any questions for Ms. Zapata Velos, Mr. Hernandez Nunez?
No.
No questions. All right, proceed, counsel.
The state calls Mr. Felipe Hernandez Nunez. Can you state your full name to the court, sir?
Yes. Felipe Hernandez Núñez.
And what is your relationship to the child in this case?
He's my son.
Okay. And in my opening, I announced to the court the agreements that you and the mother had. Were you able to hear that?
Yes.
Okay. And do you have anything to add regarding why you believe or anything else that you're helping regarding supporting this child
Nope.
outside of what has been testified to?
Nope.
And you agree that as of now, your gross income is self-employed of $2,600
Yes.
approximate?
Yeah, but
Pass this witness.
Any questions for Mr. Hernandez Nunez, Mrs. Zapata Velos?
No, ma'am.
Okay, proceed.
I have a state rest subject to a brief closing.
All right, and Ms. Zapata Velos, any other evidence that you want to present?
No, I mean, I honestly should have done this a couple years back because, like I said, I mean, we've had that good relationship. I mean, he's active in his son's life, and I mean, he's never steered away from his responsibility, money-wise. So, I mean, I really hope that this is something that we can get taken care of today for him. Because he actually is a good father all the way around, all the way across the board.
Thank you. Unless there's any questions for the lady, Mr. Hernandez Nunez, do you have any additional statements or evidence to present?
but I'm been trying to provide my son as much as I can. Being paying like everything on time, help him. But I mean, that's it.
All right, and you plan to continue to do that on your own?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, and you're requesting that the child support be reduced to 0
Yes.
in the court order. But you do plan to take care of your son?
Yes, definitely. That's not a. That's the plan. I mean, that's. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Counsel, anything else?
Your Honor, in just my closing, just a closing,
Proceed.
regarding the court cost, I would ask that Mr. Hernandez Nunez be ordered to pay them, but to give him 1 year from today's date to Travis County Clerk. I have no objection to a full release, so I'm in agreement with the party's request. And I'll defer to the issues on whether there has been sufficient evidence to deviate. But the finding would be that child support would be set at $421, so it would be reduced from the 2019 order. But if the court is inclined to set it at 0, I have no objection, Your Honor.
All right, any final statements from the mother?
I actually would like to add something that speaks very highly of Felipe, because I think it speaks very highly of him. My son actually wanted to purchase a car, and this was in December, and you know, he's actually working part-time after school. So we basically told him like, hey, you come up with some money, and I told him I'll help you with a couple $1,000s. And then whenever I brought this to Mr. Hernandez's attention that I was going to help our son, he was like, well, I'll match what you provide. If you provide $2,000 towards our son, I'll provide $2,000, which is exactly what he did. So I would like to add that because that's something that was obviously not written anywhere. And, you know, this is just something that it was like a spur of the moment. Hey, we found a car. It's okay. I'll send you the money. So my son right now, he drives himself to school. He drives himself to work. And that's something that we were able to come together as 3 to be able to, for my son to be able to have that. And I really want to recognize Mr. Hernandez for that, because I do think that not many people would actually do that. But I mean, I do think that we have a good child, and I do think that it takes a village, and he has always been a participant in that.
And someone takes care of the car insurance?
Yeah, we do. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Anything else?
No, ma'am.
Okay, any statements in summation, Mr. Hernandez Nunez? This is your final opportunity to speak.
Um, ay, ¿cómo exactamente a qué se está refiriendo?
Si tienes alguna otra pregunta o algo que quieras decir, algún testimonio que quieras dar.
Mm,
Anything else at all? Do you have anything you want to say?
well, not really. I mean, we're being like good parents. She's been raising my son like really, really good. So that's why I'm being trying, like I said, like to do like the best, like provide my son like everything that he needs. And we've been working like all three like together to um be a better um like all three. I mean, we're not together and everything, but everything is being like perfect. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Anything in response from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Well, I think that you're working very well as a family unit, even though you don't have a traditional living together as a husband, wife with children kind of situation, but you're doing the best that you can with what you are um, presented with. And I
Yes, ma'am.
think you're doing a very good job. Communication is critical, and you obviously both have the best interests of the child at hand. And that's important because that's the requirement of the law, whatever is best for the child. And so I am going to um, uh, order those zero judgments and the release as the mother has requested for both back child support and back medical support. And I will also reduce or have the child support be set at zero by court order effective immediately. And that's because the father and the mother are providing or working together to provide for the child, as well as the necessities related to medical and glasses and so forth. The car is not a necessity, but it's very important for a 17-year-old. And so I will order the child support to be at zero, and Mr. Hernandez Nunez can pay the court costs to the district clerk of Travis County, and you have 1 year to do that. They'll bill you separately from the Attorney General's office. Is there anything else, counsel?
No, Your Honor, I will submit to the parties via DocuSign a proposed order within the next 30 minutes if they could review that.
Very good. Once that is provided to you and you review it and sign it, it will be presented to the court and I will sign it. It'll become the order of the court. Thank you very much for your testimony and your patience. Have a good day.
Thank you, Judge.
You too.
You all
Well, that was a good case with a good ending. The judge agreed with the parents and will set the child support order to zero. The dad will continue to pay the mom child support directly. But let us know what you think. Do you think it's fair that the father is responsible for the court cost? Tell us what you think about this case in the comment section below, and thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.